What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to an Echo Through Me review. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about Warhammer 40k Regicide. My name's Daly, and let's dive right into it. So, starting off, Warhammer 40k Regicide offers a unique take on the chess game, and it has quite a few different Warhammer-themed options to it. Now, while the base game is just chess, it does have its Warhammer 40k flair present. There's quite a few other things that you can do besides your normal chess moves, which makes the game fairly interesting. But before we hop into the gameplay, I want to talk a little bit about the menu system. So you obviously can see here at the main menu has some different login features here. So when you log in, you get like a daily reward, which I didn't really mind, but I didn't really like at the same time. Additionally, when you first start the game, you have to create an account, and it just seemed like a little bit of extra steps that I had to do to play the game, especially a game that's just chess. Like, I don't really need to create an account. It should have been binded with my Steam account or something like that. If we can put that aside, the game is actually not that bad if you're looking for something like this. Now, this is obviously a very niche market. It's for Warhammer 40k fans, which obviously isn't that niche, but within that crowd, you have to like chess, which I'm assuming if you like the 40k board games, you probably like chess at least a little bit. Even if you don't necessarily like chess that much, it still has a lot to offer. So let's go ahead and talk about that. Obviously, you saw a little earlier, I was looking at the armory. The armory is where you can kind of customize your troops, build up your different armies with different paint schemes and different patterns and things like that. And you have the Space Marines, and then there are different like subclasses, like different I'm not sure what they call them here. Chapters, I believe, is what they are. If I'm wrong, please excuse me, but that's what I remember from the 40k universe. So you have different chapters, and so different chapters will offer you different, I guess, like kill animations and things like that. And then you have the orcs, and so you can customize your orcs with different armor and the different subcategories of orcs. I'm pretty sure they're not called chapters. So with that, the tutorial mode just kind of shows you what to do, and this is what's kind of different. So Warhammer 40k Regicide offers two different types of main gameplay. You have the chess matches, and then you have the Regicide matches. The Regicide matches are just like chess, except it offers different abilities for you to play after your initial move phase. So you'll see here in the gameplay sections that after my move phase, I have what's called an initiation phase, or something along those lines. So what you can do in this phase is use a certain number of ability points that you gain per your turn. I believe they cycle over too, so some of your bigger abilities you can save your points for to use later. Basically, what happens is after your move turn, you're able to do things like shoot. So you can pick an enemy on the map to shoot with your particular forces, and then you'll do some extra damage. So it's entirely possible to kill people in the game without actually maneuvering on them like you would in a chess match. In addition, you have things like grenades with area of effect things, and then you can actually get side by side. Let's say two pawns get side by side. In a normal chess match, there's nothing they can do because pawns can only attack diagonally. In this game, you're able to use like melee abilities or different powers to actually attack enemies face to face, which kind of brings that Warhammer 40k board game feel to it, and I actually kind of like it. It's pretty cool. Normally this kind of game isn't my game, but I can see the potential for somebody that likes this kind of thing in there. So with that, you've got different moves for different chapters. You've got different abilities for different classes. You've got different abilities for different sides. The orcs' abilities are different from the human abilities, and the shooting, the shooting percentages are different, and it's not always a guaranteed kind of thing. So that adds that kind of element of diversity, so you don't necessarily have to worry about just getting picked off from far away. You can still play the game like chess. And when you initiate a chess move, let's say the pawns are diagonal and it's my turn, you'll see in the video at one point you can actually do an instant kill by maneuvering into these chess positions. So you can take a pawn and kill another pawn, or you can use a pawn to kill a king or a queen, and they all have their same directional movements and stuff like that, where queens can move anywhere in any direction, bishops or whatever can move only diagonal, rooks can only move, forward and backwards and left and right, and so you've got that, that strategic element as well, that you can't just move anybody wherever you want. However, you can still use that initiate turn to kind of, defend yourself or go on the offensive. Overall, the game isn't too terrible. But let's talk about some of the negative things that I saw in the game. So first of all, the menu layout and menu design is terrible. I didn't like it. There's the back button. You'll see me press it at one point, probably way earlier in the video, but the back button's actually in the top left corner, and it's just a blue circle. I had to click around the menu screen for quite a while to find the back button to get back to where I wanted to go. The tutorial doesn't really explain anything about the armory or anything like that, and the main part of the I guess online manual is it's just a bunch of stuff, and so it's really overwhelming when you look at it and you're like, wow, I've got to read all of that. Granted, like I said, if you're a 40k player, you're probably not opposed to this kind of stuff, but me not being a 40k player, mainly, it kind of took me by surprise. I was like, wow, there's a lot to learn for this game that's chess. So I didn't like that. The sound design isn't great. I would have liked to see some higher quality sounds for like shooting and stuff like that. Once you've heard the shooting sounds once, you've heard them for the rest of the game. They don't change. It's the same sound for this, the same sound for grenades. They don't have very many vocal tracks. There is a campaign in there that I guess adds, a little diversity to it, but outside the campaign, you're going to be listening to the same things over and over and over. The other thing that I really didn't like was the lack of quality animation. I feel like a game like this, you really, really could have benefited from doing some higher quality like kill cams and some higher quality animations. When you shoot people, it's just like this generic power stance where they just shoot their gun and like, "Arr!" And every single soldier does that. I would have liked a little different and variation, and they feel like really slow and sluggish. Whereas I know in the 40k universe, there's some like fast-paced stuff going on there. Like I would definitely would have liked to see better kill animations and maybe even more improved map design. Now people will be like, "Oh, map design, this is chess." Well, in certain modes, there's different obstacles around to kind of give yourself cover and stuff like that. I would have liked a little more variation. They felt kind of just plopped down and whatnot, but the scenes behind them are beautiful, so I don't want to take away from that. Overall, Warhammer 40k Regicide isn't a bad game. If we're sticking to the scoring system, I would rate this game a 3.5 out of 5. Worth a pickup if you're a 40k fan. You might want to hold off until a sale if you like chess and are trying to pick something up. And if you're just looking for a game that's weird and awkward, this one might be for you. With that said, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.